Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Something Cafe. Welcome back to the Something Cafe. I am your host, Celestino Dooley. And today, if you are an active listener, an active watcher, perhaps an active consumer of this show, you will notice that on the video portion, the set looks a little different. That's because it is. We are changing, we are adapting, we are upgrading. And my overall goal, is to make this podcast seem as professional as it can be. Or I guess not seem. Seem implies that it'll look professional but isn't. No, I have a full team behind the camera right now, all with reds, red cameras, boom arms all over above me. And a trapeze artist for my personal amusement. Welcome back to the Something Cafe. I think this is episode 19. Not sure. But yeah, I want to upgrade the set. I want to make it more professional. I'm very excited about that. I've got some things I want to, that I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver to me. And yeah, I'm super excited, It's gonna be really, really nice. The reason why I'm doing this is because when I was it was like when I was recording the last episode, which was a solo episode. When I got done, I don't know. I just kind of realized, well, not realized, because that implies that it's true, but like. I just kind of thought, like, when I was looking at what the video looked like, I just kind of thought, like, it's not super, like, neat. It's not super professional. Like, it looks nice, right? Like, I have a good, like, I had a good setup, before, but, it's not as, like, professional as I want it to look like. Like, in the future, when we start making money from this and whatnot, like, me and my team have already said, like, we are going to get a studio, and we are gonna, like, it's gonna be its own production. It's gonna be incredible. So yeah, but right now I'm working in my studio apartment. So yeah, that's what we've got here. I took down all the posters, which kind of sucks. I mean, I really like the posters. I like them. I like how, since they're fabric, it doesn't do a whole lot of sound dampening, but it does take the edge off just a little bit. Especially when you have the entire wall, like covered in like thin fabric posters. It doesn't soak up a lot of sound, but it does help get rid of some of the hysteresis. I forget that word. Isn't that funny? Like, they will name some words specifically about, like, okay, so like, for example, this word that I'm trying to say. In fact, let me try and look it up. Hysteresis. So if you want to use a very large vocabulary, the fabric posters take the edge off of the hysteresis. What is hysteresis? Per the Oxford Dictionary, the phenomenon in which the value of a physical property lags behind changes in the effect causing it, as for instance when magnetic induction lags behind the magnetizing force. What's the point of a dictionary when the definition is more confusing than, like, what's the point of a dictionary when the definition makes you more confused than where you were before? Guys, that is not at all what I thought hysteresis meant. I completely set up that whole conversation around a word that I had the definition incorrect of. That's why the New York Times calls the Something Cafe podcast the one podcast that you should get all of your news from, and none of your news from. You hear that? I was looking for the word sibil, what the sibilance. I was looking for the word sibilance. Why did I get it mixed up with hysteresis? Because you can find both words on audio plugins on music production software, which is what I use every single day. So yeah, sibilance is the one I actually know. A hissing quality of sound, or the hissing sound itself, per dictionary.com. So that was a very long road to get to the very stupid point of me just trying to say the fabric posters take the edge off of the sibilance. But now that I know those two words, especially sibilance, I do believe I sound a little bit smarter. But this is what I'm saying, right? Like, the word sibilance, starts and ends with an S. Or, sorry, not with an S, but with an S sound. Isn't that, like, it can't be a secret that they do that on purpose, right? Right? I mean, it's not a secret that they can do that on purpose. Because, you have, like, why isn't the word sibilance a word, like, the word sibilance causes sibilance, okay? My first name causes a lot of sibilance. Celestino. That's why I can always tell when people are talking about me in a crowd, or just saying my name, like, in a, like pretty far away. Saying my name at a distance that everyone else in the world would not be able to know they were talking about you. But just because I know where the S's lie in my name, when I hear that, I'm like, all right, someone just said my name. But isn't that funny? Like, a lot of these words are kind of ironic. And I just looked one up, and this is like, I mean, come on. Like, this is... So, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, so I looked up the fear of long words. Like, what is the phobia actually called when it is addressing the fear of long words? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, this is stupid. So first of all, why can't you make sibilance a word that's like, instead of saying, oh, that sentence has a lot of sibilance, you could say that sentence has a lot of, freaking, cumbagub, or something, right? Like something that doesn't already abuse what you're talking about. Here's another example, the fear of long words. Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess? If you were going to guess, I'm really going to try this one. If you were going to guess hippopotamostrosis pedaliophobia. If you were going to guess that, then you are correct. That is everyone's first guess. You know what, guys? This is kind of like a trapdoor for me, man. Like, the dude with the speech impediment is looking up the world's longest words. Things like that, right? A phobia that I do have, right? Like, think of, because like a lot of people can say they have phobias, whatever. Just because you are scared of something, or just because you don't like something, doesn't always mean it's a phobia, right? I think some people exaggerate that, but in my case, I do have a legitimate phobia, and that is thalassophobia. What is thalassophobia? I'm gonna say it off the top of my head, then I'm gonna look it up because I'm sure that off the top of my head is going to be incorrect, but thalassophobia is the fear of, like, very open and vast spaces. So let me, because, and the funny thing about my thalassophobia, so per the AI overview on Google, thalassophobia is an intense and persistent fear of deep bodies of water such as oceans, seas, or lakes. So basically, like, and it doesn't even have to do with water. Like, that's what is most that's what it's most attributed to, because where else in the world are we going to be faced with a very vast open space that one can exist in, right? Like, now you could say the dumb answer to that, and you could say, well, the sky, but like, the sky isn't an easy plane of existence for us. uh, uh, a lake is. We can swim in a lake. Like, theoretically, if we could breathe underwater, like, we could reach every part of any lake, like, with our own two hands. The sky, not really, but I can honestly tell you that and you know what's funny? I think this is pretty cool. I could honestly tell you where my thalassophobia came from. Like, I can genuinely, and isn't that unique? Like, how many other people do you know where, like, when they tell you their phobia, they can say, like, oh, and I also know exactly what started it for me. Before I relive my trauma, let me take a sip. It's currently 1:43. I got up at 8 and started getting things ready, and it's 1:43 now. Although I have already recorded, I record for the short form content on the social medias. I do that for about an hour or two, but it took me like 30 minutes to get this camera set up. I don't know why, but back to what I was saying. I can tell you when my thalassophobia truly started, and it all comes down to one movie about one fish with one little fin. Nemo was the most terrifying part of my childhood. Honestly. Nemo. And can you think of which scene I'm talking about? I vividly remember when I was younger. And I was watching that film. The scene where, so you got Marlon Brando and Emo, or not Emo, Nemo, and Mrs. Nemo. You've got the three clownfish and the sea anemone, like, hanging out as a family. And what happens, right? Like, one of them looks out. Oh my gosh, dude! See, this is why this is a true phobia. This isn't just something. It's not like I don't like tomatoes. I don't like loud noises. No, this is why this is why I genuinely have this phobia, because even thinking about this scene from frickin' Nemo, the first one, dude, it's like kind of freaking me out right now, to be honest with you. It's kind of making me feel lightheaded. For those of you who know me, did you know this? Did you know I have thalassophobia? I can't believe it's something that comes up in conversation a whole lot. It's not like I'm at work at the hospital. Hey, hey, did you see that? Did you see that really obscure specific picture of the deep ocean the other day, Celestino? And then I pass out. But like, dude, there was the scene in Nemo where the clownfish family's chilling in the anemone, and they look out. Basically, it's on like a cliff in the ocean. There's a lot of cliffs in the ocean. Just like as the earth like goes even deeper and deeper, the water, there's a cliff, and that cliff obviously leads to nothing. Like, it's basically, when you're watching the movie, it goes into the view of like whichever clownfish was seeing the barracuda, like, far out, And dude, that scene effed me up, dude. That drop off that they were showing from with the first person perspective. First person perspectives freak me out too. Looking off of the drop off, it's the barracuda's just like just like swimming in this giant space of just water, and like darkness as you look down, And I seriously think that's where it came from. You know, it's the thought of like being, because if you were where that, if you as a human were there, like where the barracuda was being seen, like you wouldn't be able to escape that. Like it would feel like you know when you're trying to fight in a dream and it feels like you're just like you're throwing punches through water. You know, like you're trying to throw punches through water or like syrup, you know? Like I feel like that's what it would feel like as you're like trying to like you're like grabbing the water to your sides and trying to go up with like obviously the barracuda's like a million times faster. Oh, dude, that freaks me out, man. That freaks me out, dog. I hate that. And dude, since that pivotal moment in my life, dude, that is translated to so many other things. Like I love fishing. I haven't fished in a while, but I do love fishing. I think it's fun. It's relaxing. Um, it can be very therapeutic. It can be rewarding. Um, but I will never get into a lake, which is why it's thalassophobia and not just the fear of water. Why? Because I love boats. The happiest points in my life have been on boats, and boats are the greatest thing in the world. Like you will not find me happier anywhere else. Like my eventual wedding day will just barely beat the feeling I get when I'm on a boat. Genuinely. Um, but I can do boats. Again, it's not the fear of water, it's not the fear of open spaces, it's the fear of like being in a vast space that, you know, and I think what's really creepy about the ocean for me is, oh my gosh, dude, even again, just thinking about it, dude, this makes me freaking lightheaded. Oh, what freaks me out about the ocean is just imagining, oh my gosh, this is actually making my bones hurt. It's just imagining like floating in the middle of the ocean. And like if for some reason I was like wearing goggles or something, like if I could put on the goggles and like look down and see literally nothing, but also at the same time not knowing what's down there. Like there could be like a million things around me, but I wouldn't know because they're just far enough out of sight. Guys, I'm my vision is getting a little blurry right now. Oh my gosh, dude, I cannot think about that. But it makes for good content. Yeah, Nemo screwed me up, guys. Nemo screwed me up. Um what other fears do I have? Oh, I mean, still on the whole thalassophobia thing, man. I once went tubing, which you know, I think I could have become a professional rock climber after that because you take someone who has thalassophobia tubing and you will not find a stronger grip force in on the planet because you are basically like I'm still above the water, but I know it's going to be very easy for me to like fly into the water, and that's all dependent on the driver of the boat and my grip strength. And my parents were like, "No, go, go, go," because you know, mom and dad always like. It's one of those things that you hate. Like I chalk it up to that list of like things that you hate your parents for in the moment, but you love them for now. You following me? Times where like you really didn't want to do something, but then you know, in my case, my mom, she was like, "No, go tubing, go." Like it was so. Again, like this is something good that my mom did, but like it was very aggressive, you know, because she, whenever I was scared to do something, she teetered on that line of forcing me to do it and letting me go, you know? So, you know, she would, if there were actual danger, of course, like mom would never put me in that. And there is no danger in tubing, really. I mean, I had already been swimming for like 8 years. I have a life vest. That's not the issue. She just knows I'm freaking terrified of it. So when I was much younger, and we were on one of my dad's friend's boat, me and my little brother, and they were like, "All right, like it's time to go tubing." And it's like that's like genuinely when I heard them say that is what I feel like it's gonna hear. Like when I heard them say that, that's genuinely what I think it's gonna feel like when like someone knocks on my door and says that you were not selected to, to be invited into the fallout bunker for the bombs that are dropping in the next 20 minutes. That's what I felt like. So mom lightly forces me to go tubing. Me and my little bro get on that raft thing. And dude, I know my parents told the driver to do this. Like my dad is the coolest dude ever, but he's just like me, I'm just like him. And what would me and him do in his position? Tell the driver of the boat to absolutely gun it. And that's what he did. And seriously, like my grip force on those freaking handles. I mean, I could dude, I could have turned a freaking you could have put a baby leatherback, turtle. Brother, you could have placed one little baby leatherback sea turtle on my palm, and I would have turned that thing to dust. I would have turned that thing to absolute dust. I did eventually fly off, which was the most frightening point in my life. And when I got in the water, not just did I fly off and I'm now in the water, which again, biggest fear. My swim trunks completely fly off as well. So I am life vest only, currently, which is bold, right? Life vest only. That's a bold one. That's a bold one for you. I was ahead of my time, but I was in the water, life vest only, and to be honest with you guys, and I'm talking to the men here, all right, and ladies, just listen up, because you're about to learn a real fear us men have, is that when you're in the water in like a lake or something, and you're bottomless, it's not that every guy believes this, but every guy fears this, and fearing is different than believing. But I both believe and fear it. What is it that I fear and believe? The possibility of a fish mistaking my, what's a scientific term? A fish mistaking my ham and Swiss golf club with a worm. And that is every dude's fear, at least for a second. Like, you could throw Neil deGrasse Tyson in a lake buck naked, and even though he's like super smart and knows that's not something you need to worry about, it would last a second, but he would think about it. And that's terrifying for a young growing boy, And I don't want to lose that, right? I should have told mom, look, it's either I go tubing or you have grandchildren in the future. You got to choose. So when the boat pulled up to me to pick me up, my dad got me a towel, and as I was coming up the ladder, I had the towel wrapped around me. We found my swim trunks floating somewhere. We went and just kind of drive by, grabbed them. But dude, that stuff freaks me out. Something else I remember about big open spaces it's not even a body of water. It's like what I was talking about earlier. It's so weird. So again, like you gotta remember the root of the fear. A vast space that you don't know what's in it. And I vividly remember being terrified of looking up at the sky. When I was when I was little and I had a trampoline, sometimes I would just lay on the trampoline. It was just kind of fun, just like lay on my back and like kind of like move my shoulders so I could like bounce myself, just like it really acted more like a rocking chair than a trampoline when I did that. But obviously, like if I were to open my eyes and look straight forward, I would be looking in at the sky, and that used to freak me out too, at like equal level of freak out. Because again, open space, don't know what's out there, freaking me out. And for some reason at that time, I believed a lot of fantastical bullshit that I made up in my mind. I was a very, very imaginative kid. And now currently I'm a very, very imaginative adult man. But when I was a kid, I imagined some fantastic things. Things that make no sense. They never made sense. Things that are physically not possible. But these are things that like I never talked with about anybody, so I would just believe it. And one of them was when I would look up at the sky as I'm laying on the trampoline, I was afraid that I was going to get sucked up into the sky if I stared for too long. And that's a genuine fear. Any hick who's been abducted by aliens have had alien machinery and parts that they don't want to be honest about. And when these hicks come back down to Earth, they're a little bit more open on the sexuality topic, if you know what I mean. You know? And I was scared if the sky would suck me up into the clouds, you know. Freaky stuff, man. Freaky stuff. And in the same vein, let me take a sip, y'all. Hold on. Shout out Mitra. In the same vein, I have a hard time. Now, this is something current, ladies and gentlemen, all right? I'm about to give you some ammo for what you could make fun of me for. Even now, I have a hard time, easier than in the past, but I still have a hard time playing first-person games that are either horror games or like realistic or whatever. And again, you know, it's funny, I can trace it back to exactly why that started too. It's in the similar vein as Phobia of like being in a space that you aren't aware of, you don't know, and even though you are not that character, obviously, like you have a first person perspective from your own eyeballs. You have a first person perspective of a screen that is hosting a first person perspective of like a video game character, right? But those of you who play games, like right now, like if you're listening and you play like a lot of first person games, no, you forget that, you know, you forget you're looking at a screen, really. Like, it sounds silly, but it's true. Like, it's not that I'm saying like you like transcend into this like alternate dimension where, you know, freaking you know, you are in the game, but like, let me tell you this, brother. Even now, sometimes like that freaks me out. Because when things happen to you in a game in first person, like, it's so much scarier than if you were in like third person. Which, if I can, like, every game that I play, if there's a third person option, I will always take it. Except for maybe like Borderlands, but that's because Borderlands, even though it's first person and it's a first person shooter and like a pretty like crazy wasteland, the graphics of it are super unique and the art the art direction is super unique that it kind of takes me out of being scared of it and more just like, you know, obviously it's not real. But like I tried to play BioShock. Let's see, I tried to play BioShock like right before I left for college. So it would have been like 3 years ago. I got the whole BioShock franchise. I got it because I'm like, this is a staple. This is one of the most popular games. This is what gets this is one of the franchises that got people to love video games. I need to have this collection and I need to play it, you know, because I love video games. And when I have an opportunity to play and finish a classic, you know, I kind of see it as like, you know, not just is it a fun game and I'm gonna have fun playing it, but it's also, you know, it's like paying homage to the games that kind of kept video games popular. I could not even get past the first mission in BioShock 1. I mean, it literally starts out in like my worst nightmare. BioShock 1 starts when you like with you on a plane flying over the ocean. An engine explodes, you crash into the ocean. Again, still all first person, so my pants are soiled. And you have to swim and like grab planks and you like find this buoy and you find this like real small little island, like not even an island, it's like just a little like piece of land sticking out of the ocean. You go and then there's like stairs to go down inside of it, and then you end up in this old lost city called Rapture, which was a city that they tried to create all underwater to make this like utopia, but it didn't work. And then the rest of the story is like trying to get out and stuff like that. So but like it's freaking creepy. So first like you're on a plane, which I don't mind flying, but I also don't like it. And then you crash into the ocean again. Ocean, scary. And then you are in the ocean having to swim, and then you get down this landmass. You go down these stairs, and you're in this like you're in this abandoned city where you don't know what's going on, and you're hearing all these noises. Dude, I am 21 years old. I cannot play that right now. Seriously, like, it is too much for me. And you know, when I think about it, at that point, do you even call that being scared? It's more just like it makes me feel uncomfortable, right? Because, like, I don't think someone above the age of 20 can be scared of something that's actually not physically threatening. You get what I mean? Which, I'm not trying to say it's impossible for me to get scared. Clearly I'm scared, but I think scared is more of like, when I think of the word scare, I think of like anticipation. Like, I am scared of this, I am scared of that. Well, like, what you're actually saying is like, I am scared of this, so I don't ever want to face that ever again. No, dude, that just makes me uncomfortable, man. That whole game, like, I could not even finish the first mission. An amazing series. I've like watched all of the cutscenes, but you know what I had to do to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable was I had to play it without the headphones on. Because when you have I have a nice, I have a nice pair of gaming headphones, like a gaming headset, and like, so the game Overwatch, the game that I play a lot, like if someone is 10 feet behind me and then 3 feet to the left, I could hear their footsteps at that in that exact direction and at the appropriate volume. You know, given that someone who's 10 feet away will have quieter footsteps than someone who is right next to me. And that's why I took off the headphones, and then I minimized the window so the window was smaller on my screen, and I also turned the volume all the way down. Freaking creepy, man. I still couldn't do it. I still could not do it, man. That stuff freaks your boy out. But what other fears do I have? Oh, I have a fear. a fear of not using the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back. So yeah. Oh, got cut right back in and instantly started ticking. That's a tick I have that is really hard to explain. The that one's hard to explain because people hear me doing it and they think it's my laugh, but like that is the most weirdest laugh ever if that were the case. And yeah, no, it's not my laugh. It is purely just I have Tourette syndrome. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, so we, and when I say we, I mean my team, and my team is 2 people. Because a little update on Cafe Critique, still on hold, still figuring out what I want to do with that. I do have a co-host lined up, someone who is interested in being the new co-host, but they do live far away, and like me and them were talking, and we were like, oh, like there's a theater like right in between where we live, and we're like, oh, awesome, perfect. But then I was like, wait, but we do have to come back to my place to record, which would be the absolute most driving for that person. So I'm still gonna try to see if they can do it with me, because they are someone that I've known for a good while, and I really click well with, but I'll figure it out. So right now, our team is just 2 people. It's me and my editor, me and Evan. Evan's the one that like kills it on all the social media posts. Like I really, if you're listening to this and you aren't following us on social medias, like I really, really recommend it. I get that it's videos of me talking, but the way he edits everything, it just absolutely complements what the actual video is of. So obviously, right, like we've been making all of this social media posts, like reels, shorts. We have a short come out every day at like 2:30. We are getting comments. You know what I mean? We are getting comments. We are getting interactions, and man, oh man, are we getting some good comments. So I just want to sit with y'all. And just read some of these comments, guys, because some of them are just golden. And here's what I was talking about with Evan. Comments don't really comments don't mess with me, I mean I get that that's a pretty choice thing to say right now, given that like we only have 130 subscribers, but yeah, like comments don't bother me. I get why some people like are bothered by comments. Like, of course I can get that. It's not like people who say like, wait, you're like upset by comments, dude, you need to grow a freaking backbone, dude. Have a natty light and chill out. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's my dad's trust fund. Yeah. Like no, I get it, but at the same time, I like to encourage people not to care about comments so much. A lot of the media that I consume are like podcasts, and these podcasts are like people on the internet, like people who have shows on the internet and have a presence on the internet, and once in a while they'll talk about comments and whatnot, and like, oh, this that, blah blah blah. And when I was talking about this with Evan, and he made a good point. He was like, yeah, I mean, they don't really bother you, and they probably will never bother you, but I think what would bother you if you made a video that you liked, but every single comment was negative. He is exactly right. Like, that's a really good point. It's not really what the comments are saying that would bother me in that instance. It would be like, wow, like I just must have made a bad video or like a bad episode, because if all the comments are negative, if all the comments are rude or mean, right? Like shit, like I must have not done good on that one. But we aren't there yet, guys, because we don't have a lot of comments coming through, but we do have some. So I'm just gonna read some out. I had a short go up about me talking about how every meme, like the bigger the meme, the harder it will fall. We had one person say, LMFAO, I don't think you do have any expiration date. You should have waited about 5 more days for your lip to heal to make this video. And I have no clue what that comment means. Like in the video itself, I talk about how every meme has an expiration date. And he says, I don't think you do have any expiration date. And now that I'm reading it, it could be that he's complimenting me, but I have no clue. I have no clue what that means, because then he says, I don't think you do have any expiration date. But then he follows it up with, you should have waited about 5 more days for your lip to heal to make this video. And then he puts like 3 emojis. 2 of them are like the blushing face with the big round eyes, and the other one is like the sigh. This is when man transcribed and translated the Egyptian hieroglyphics, this is what they felt like, because I have no idea what that means. Also, my lip, okay, did it look like herpes? Yeah. Was it herpes? No. Okay. But yeah, it was bad, but it's healed now. Like there's only like a little bit of red. You know what it was? It was just a big old freaking blemish on my face that I kept picking at, because I have the discipline of an 8-year-old when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's what it was. But I stopped picking it, and I got it healed. Again, on that same video, someone says, was that expiration date intentional? What are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about? All I said was some memes have an expiration date, and then 2 people point out me saying the term expiration date. I have no clue what they are saying. One of the shorts was me reacting to a white guy explaining how white guys evolve when they move to Florida, and he basically turns into like a gangster rapper. And then one person commented, he skipped the part where they start shaving their entire body because God forbid you to have hair on your body. Dude, I could not explain that to get out of a wet paper bag. Like, and the common theme with, oh, here comes LARZ. I think LARZ just got done taking a little. I think LARZ just got done taking a little nap. Look at LARZ. Look at LARZ. Look at him. Look at how big he is. Look at how fluffy he is. Look at him. He's like he's when I hold him like this, he just looks like a dude. He just looks like a man. Say hi, LARZ. Say something on the microphone. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. I love you, LARZ. Cute LARZ. LARZ loves to be like shook just a little bit, like a little bounce. Look at that. If you are not watching the video, why? LARZ. Unfortunately, I see myself spraying LARZ in the next couple of minutes because LARZ loves cords, and that's why I have the spray bottle with me, because I'm trying to train him not to bite my cords. But yeah, I do not understand any of these comments. Oh, one was we made a short called so it was me reacting to this video these 2 guys made, and it was like ethnic names be like, and then it was like African American, and when the black dude opened his mouth to say his name, like African drums started playing. The next guy was Arab. It was like Arab names be like, and when he opened his mouth to say his name, it was like total Eastern, you know, like really, really funny stuff. So like it cut to my face and I was like, yeah, and my name is, when I opened my mouth, Evan edited in like the super Italian. So then we've got this one guy. He says, again, this is what I love about comments, because no comment hurts my feelings. It is just fun, because even the ones where they are trying to be mean or they're trying to like correct me or something, they are still fun, because like they're just fun to laugh at. And the funniest part about these comments is like, I am such a small channel right now. Like, we are such a small podcast right now. What is imploring you to like take the amount of time it takes to like send some of these comments? Because some of them are long, or they will keep talking in the comments. Like, why are you trying to sink my ship when my ship is like not even usable yet? You know what I mean? So on that short, we have one guy saying, I doubt Italians would agree you're Italian. Bold move, my friend. Bold move. And then Evan, our editor, Evan, comments on that and says his name is Celestino. The guy says, my name is Greek. I have no Greek heritage. Evan says, okay, well he's Italian, with like the crying, laughing emoji. I'm just gonna call this guy Orange. Orange persists. Orange said, and again, why take all this time? Like, I get that it only takes like a minute to send some of the stuff, but like even a minute on this is a minute wasted. Right? Like, you get 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year, and 80 years of life. Why spend a minute just like commenting on my video with like a bad comment or like a rude or mean comment and like fight for it when you don't even know who I am? And that's what I love about people who are addicted to social media. I love it. I love it because it gives me something to talk about. It gives me something to laugh at. So yeah, Evan says, okay, well he's Italian, lol. Orange says, I love this. Italian? Question mark. Does he live in Italy? Question mark. Can he speak Italian? Question mark. He sounded the most average American guy ever to me. Now, a common theme I have with replying to some of these comments is acting super acting super innocent, because I think that's the best way to reply to comments. Why? Because I guess I should explain what I mean first. So at the end of all of this whole chain, I responded to Orange's final comment of him saying, does he live in Italy? And I just said, buongiorno, exclamation point, and then the monkey emoji with the monkey's hands over his eyes. Just something stupid and cute. Just something dumb, you know, just like a little lighthearted, kind of quirky response. And I do that with every single one. Like, every single response is like something really, really innocent and whatnot. Why do I do that? Because that is the perfect defense on comments. So when you have a really, really good comment, like one that's really good, like I remember we got a comment the other day that said, you know, super funny video, you just got yourself a new subscriber. Like, awesome. Like, that's super, super wholesome. I let that person know that their comment was appreciated, you know, and in my reply, I just said, you know, thank you so much, comma, hope you come and grab a cup every episode. Just something stupid like that. You know, something nice. And then you'll get like in the middle comments where it's like it's not nice, it's not rude, but it's just like whatever. Maybe it's like a correction, or maybe it's like, just something that's like in the middle. Again, I will continue to say, okay, like I see one now. Like, it is so weird. So we had this one guy on the evolution of a white boy moving to Florida video. He says, depends on what part of Florida, which is true. I'm born and raised Duval, Southern hospitality with a hood rat demeanor. Guys, I don't know who this person thinks they are. You know, they could genuinely be a Southern hospitality with a hood rat demeanor, but most likely it's a 15-year-old white kid who wants to feel like he's a gangster. I'm born and raised Duval, Southern hospitality with a hood rat demeanor. I sound country to outsiders, but use hood vernacular with a broader vocabulary, like an educated hick that was invited to the barbecue. I mean, again, like, this is a perfect example of, okay, so for one, this is a perfect example of a comment that sits in the middle. It's not good or bad, it's just someone talking about something. But again, this is so weird. When you need to use the word vernacular and demeanor in the same comment, brother, let me just say to you right now, you are trying way too hard. Yeah, that's one that lies in the middle. But one that is on the bottom side is like what we were talking about earlier with, like, I do not think he's Italian. But I have the best one. The best comment. This one, 3 days ago. This was on the evolution of a white boy moving to Florida. And this is incredible, guys. So me and Evan watched this in real time. So in the evolution of a white boy moving to Florida video, I am ticking a little bit in my face. Okay? Why? Because, one, can't control it. But two, I had already been recording for like 3 hours. And this was like 3.5 hours into recording now. So I was starting to get pretty tired. You know, I was starting to get pretty just pretty fatigued, you know. Recording, it's not that it takes a lot of energy. It's not like I'm sweating, but like when you talk for that long, 3.5 hours straight, staring at a screen or a camera lens, like, you know, it really just makes you want to lay down. So my eyes and the corners of my mouth were twitching, and we got this comment. Let's call this guy Real, okay? Oh man, this is so good. And again, this comes from the question, why do these people care so much about such a small channel? And it makes me smile. If you're not watching the video, watch the video, because I am smiling right now. In fact, let me take a drink before we get into this, because it's a little long. Okay. Real says, it looks like you're on something. Your face won't stop twitching. Friendly advice. If you must make a reaction video because you lack talent, please don't pause the video every 5 seconds. Nobody knows you well enough to care what you have to say. So when Evan tells me that when Evan told me that this comment was on there, dude, you know that scene when the Grinch's heart grows 3 times its size and it gets that giant smile? Like, that's what I got. I was like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be good. I feed off of, you know, people's emotions in the best way. Like when people are negative, I see it as a chance for humor. So again, the way I comment is very innocent like, right? It's the perfect combat. I just said to that comment, I said it's not drugs, it's my Tourette syndrome with like the monkey with his hands over his eyes. And I knew that would hit him because it's like it's not drugs, it's the one thing that I was born with that I can't ever change and will live with for the rest of my life. So I send that, and in like a day later, Evan, I see a bunch of texts from Evan, and I open up his text. He's like, dude, he that guy edited his comment. I was like, what? So I go back and I see, and I'm looking at it now. So the edited comment, so the old comment is still there, but now under it, there's like a space, and then under is a line that says like edit : and then, so this is what he added on after the fact. I apologize. I'm an a-hole. There was no reason for my comment. Maybe it is I who lacks talent. I'm pretty sure we just saved a life. Huh? I'm pretty sure we just saved a life there. Again, like, I love this. I love it. One person says, it was a video of LARZ, my cat, going crazy. Says, I'm sorry to tell you, but that is a normal cat who wants attention. So thanks for that. There was one clip from a cafe critique episode that I did with Brittany, and I was referring to the CERN particle accelerator, and I nailed the explanation, but accidentally said it was in America and not Switzerland. So obviously all these absolute neckbeard Melvins got on the comments and were like, actually, it is actually in blah blah blah, So so one person said, bro, ... corrections needed. And then, of course, in my typical fashion, I said, let me know what I got wrong. I appreciate the feedback. And like a heart, emoji. Another one, oh man, this one is good. Another one on that said, guys, help me. You be the commenters this time. Help me figure this one out because I do not know what the hell she's talking about. The CERN particle accelerators in Europe, I thought. Another interesting fact, though, is look into the time the Georgia Guidestones got bombed and the reopening of CERN after being closed for COVID. I'll wait, lol. What the hell is she talking about? We are both in book club, and we are reading in 2 different languages, brother. I just said, cool fact, thank you, But like, what is she even talking about? So, yeah, the CERN particle accelerators in Europe, I thought. Okay, fine, I get it. Some losers correcting a small podcast on like a stupid fact. Another interesting fact, though, is look into the timeline. Look into the time the Georgia Guidestones got bombed in the reopening of CERN after being closed for COVID. I'll wait, lol. Like, if she didn't add that I'll wait, lol, I would have just taken that previous sentence as just like a stupid little like fun fact, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how fun bombing can be, but then she said, I'll wait, lol. Like she was expecting me to correct myself or like respond to her. On another short with Brittany, we had a guy comment, what's her at? The at is spelled with an not an ampersand, but the actual at symbol. And for my audience that is over the age of 30 or 40, when someone says what's her at, what's his at, what's the what is the at? What's the at? Whose at is that? What's her at means, like, what is her name? Like, what's her social media? Like, what's her, like, where can I find her? If it comes from a guy asking what a girl's at is, it means they just want to follow them because they're a you know a creep, and they want to flirt over Instagram when they've never known each other. So in response to that, I just put her name is Amy Schumer, which is hilarious. And yeah. Oh man, here we go again. We got a comment on the making fun of my brother's haircut, which I think to this day is the funniest bit that I've done yet. I cannot say this for all of my bits that I do on here, but that one, like, when I first watched it, I realized not just I didn't stutter at all. It's a pretty long video, and I didn't stutter at all. I just kept going. Like, I kept finding more and more things to say, and like, kind of riff off of. And this guy commented, I love it's so stupid. I love the dynamic between a bro who's on a Gen Z TikToker wave and an older bro who just doesn't give a damn. I don't even understand where he pulled that from, but I love it. The last one I will read off is there's a short that we posted where it was me telling like a really, really dumb joke that I came up with, but I said it like all wrong. Like, I said the punchline like first, and it turned into a funny clip. And let's just call this person Rose. Rose said, "You probably would not have been funny if you had said it in any other way." So, I don't know what these people are getting out of this. Again, I think it's hilarious, but I don't know what fight they think they're fighting. I'm just a fellow brother just trying to make some good episodes of a podcast. I said, "But did you hear me say it correctly at the end?" Rose made that first comment. I said, "But did you hear me say it correctly at the end?" And then the whole other person, what the heck? A whole nother person commented to that reply and said, watched the whole thing and didn't hear a joke. And I said, "Thank you for watching the whole episode. I appreciate your support. Make sure to subscribe for more." Just really stupid stuff. But yeah, guys, like, oh man, okay, one more. It was a short on how my mom told me to shave my beard by telling me I looked like a terrorist. Now, I did not think I looked like a terrorist. I do find that just a little that comment's a little more on the racial side, but hey, whatever flies your boat. But I said that, and Evan cut a short out of it, and we're gonna call this one Med. So Med said, their comment was, "Shame. It was growing so well. Anyhow, glad you kept the mustache. That looks good, and I'm sure Mother will not object." What a weird. I mean, I don't know if. I mean, it just sounds creepy. Like, if you said that in person, that would sound better. Like, if it was conversational, like, "Oh, shame, it was growing so well." Huh. Anyhow, I mean, hey, I'm glad you kept the mustache. That looks good, and I'm pretty sure mom isn't gonna hate the mustache, right? Like, in a conversation, that's fine, but in a comment, "Shame, it was going so well. Anyhow, glad you kept the mustache. That looks good, and sure Mother will not object." So I just said, "Well, I appreciate the condolences for my fallen beard." And here comes the weird one. I said, or she, this med person said, try bribery, friend. Diamonds seldom fail. Lol. Want to see you with a chest-length beard soon. What? Dude, when I got that comment, I went to my door and locked that thing so fast. I do not even know. I do not even know what that meant. I mean, I get it, but like I get what they were saying, but it's like such like a such an odd thing to say. I hope to see you with a chest length beard. I don't know, it just seems like an odd thing to say to someone that you don't know. But yeah, guys, the comments have been great. This was I'm gonna end the episode soon, but yeah, this was a little kind of comment episode, sharing comments. We don't really have an audience big enough yet to where if I said like, comment on the next video and I will read it out, like no one cares. But I do love getting comments. I'm glad people are enjoying it. The overall goal is to draw everybody towards the podcast. The short forms are basically just short forms are basically advertising, right? It's promo. So that's another reason why I am upgrading the set, is because thinking about it from like my own perspective, when I looked at the last video, I did not see something that I would watch. Unfortunately, I just had to be honest with myself. It's not that now I didn't watch the episode. I'm not talking about the stuff that I was talking about. I'm just saying, like, visually, it's not something that I would want to necessarily watch. It's something where I'm like, oh, it's like I might as well just listen to it on Spotify so I can turn my phone off and like do work, But I want something that people would enjoy watching as well. And as we upgrade the set, because I've got some pretty cool ideas, and I just Venmo'd my mother to buy the things on Amazon, and I Venmo'd her $50 extra than when I was, which is fine because Mom has sacrificed probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on me and my little brother. So, Mom, hey Mom, my mom listens to these. Hey Mama, keep it. Buy yourself something nice. Okay? Keep the change. What else do people say? Don't don't go spending it all at once, But yeah, I'm pretty excited, guys. So other than that, any other updates? I don't think so. I was actually kind of worried about this episode because, guys, like, this last week has been pretty crazy at work, and I have a show notes note on my phone where starting tomorrow, right? So tomorrow's going to be Sunday. Starting tomorrow, I will start creating a list of topics for the next episode. So I will have had a week to like think of and come up and like find topics to talk about. And when I'm recording the episode, I just pull up that list. I absolutely forgot to do that at all last week. So when I sat down to shoot this, I was like, wait, I don't even have topics. So I'm glad that I could use the comments. I don't know where the fear conversation came out of, but I thought that was fun. And yeah, guys, speaking comments, let me know what y'all think. Leave some comments down below. Check out our social medias. The Something Cafe podcast, the Something Cafe brand has social medias on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then you can listen / watch the podcast on YouTube as well, along with Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, it's like iHeartRadio or iHeartRadio Podcast or iHeart Podcast. I don't know. But iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. Links will be in the description. There is a very, very helpful link down there that'll, it's called a link tree. You'll see it. The link itself says link tree. You guys gotta, like, if you guys laughed at anything during this episode, I would love for you to go find that link in the description, because that link will take you to wherever you need to go to do whatever you need to do. If it's find the show on a streaming platform you have or whatever. We also have merch. We have a coffee mug, which I've got around here somewhere. We have a sticker, and we have some canvas prints, which I'll be updating soon. And yeah, look, guys, follow the show on Spotify and Apple Music. Leave ratings, leave reviews. That helps a lot. 5 stars across the board. And ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by and grabbing a cup with me here at the Something Cafe. I'll see you later.